Welcome to the hashtag Reinventing Drawing Group Sunday afternoon edition with Jason Leeser. This is the Reinventing the Tattoo community. You could find us at any given time at community.reinventingthetattoo.com or either of the app stores, Apple or Android. Search for Reinventing the Tattoo, give it a download, and yeah, if you are appreciating the app, then definitely give it a good positive review. We are always looking for constructive criticism, but send that directly to us, either DM or management at reinventingthetattoo.com. So, like I was saying, this is the Reinventing Drawing Group. Artists are encouraged to go to the community, click on the event listing, and the first link or one of the first events you'll see will be this, and it has the Zoom link. We are no longer putting it out on the Facebooks or the YouTubes because then spammers get in, and that was fucking horrible. Let me check real quick to make sure this is going out. And I'm going to. Oh, okay. Looks like it's going out on one of the YouTubes. Huh, interesting. Jason, can you check the either of the YouTubes to see if it's running? While I'm going to screen share our event listing here, and talk about some of the other upcoming things that we have going on.
It's not live on Tattoo Television, I can tell you that.
Okay. Well, it is going. It looks like it is going out on the Facebooks. If it is working for you, let us
It is on
know
the Facebooks.
in the chat rooms.
Oh, now it's saying that. Why is that thumbnail?
Interesting. We never a dull moment here. Um, well, let me give it a couple of seconds here. I know I could probably get this to work, but I can't get it to work and do the.
So it is being broadcast with Tattoo Collecting Podcast on Tattoo Television
Huh. It's
on
got
the YouTube.
It's got a bad name on it. Okay, well let me run through this. Then, if it's going out, we could change the names and stuff later. Um, yeah. So this is the Reinventing the Tattoo community. And you can see right here, the first thing that we've got is the events. This is the core. We've got tons of live events that actually a lot of them you could join in on. So, of course, we have interviews, discussion panels, and whatnot. But starting with the Reinventing Drawing Group we have here, as well as the Still Life that's happening with Nick Baxter at 9 o'clock Eastern tonight, you are encouraged to paint along, create art alongside of us, and then zoom in. And you can find these Zoom links inside the community. So yeah, upcoming events. The Still Life with Nick tonight is going to be amazing. You could also catch the replays at any given time. His landscape replay is available. It's like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. It's awesome from start to finish. There's also links to Nick's Still Life gallery. That's quite impressive. And Nick is generous with his time, so we would suggest going to nbaxter.com and buy some art from him. Buy his PDF book. He's out of control. These are his classic still lifes. His original paintings are also out of control. And Nick's been teaching both painting and tattooing um, for quite a while. He's amazing. He's got a great mind, and he likes to share. Um, every 9 o'clock on Monday mornings, we have the Reinventing Drawing Group with Jake Meeks from the Fireside Tattoo Network. He's got an amazing YouTube channel, the Fireside Tattoo Network. Go check out the YouTube there. Tuesdays at 10 o'clock, we have How to Build a Paul Rogers Style Prefab Tattoo Machine with Tony Urbanic. These are happening live so that you are encouraged to be building this machine alongside Tony over time, 2 hours a week. The replay is also completely applicable. You could just start it at any time, whether you're watching this now or a year from now. Go to reinventingthetattoo.com/build a tattoo machine, and then you could sign up. You get access to the replays, and he's got the ingredients, and it is full on. It's crazy. My computer's doing some stuff. It's Tony building a tattoo machine by hand. It's awesome. Um, like I said, you get the ingredients, and then you could show him what you got, and he'll help. We have an art jam that's in Spanish, Hablamos de Arte con Bruno. It's a bunch of Spanish artists or artists that are speaking Spanish doing an art jam together. We actually have one that's happening on Wednesday at 1900 Italian time. We're getting this all into our schedule. Stefano Fabriti is going to be hosting an Italian art jam. Pretty awesome stuff. We have World Tattoo Events doing interviews, and all of these replays can be found in the library here. Check out the video section. And then we have the Reinventing the Tattoo podcast. We might change that to be Reinventing the Tattoo show. But it contains all the replays. We have a Travis Louis art talk with Guy, which was pretty amazing. They went through their favorite artists and their influences. We have some of the free seminars for the machine stuff, a machine panel, Reinventing Tattoo Design with Russ and Guy, a couple of guests. Pretty amazing stuff. All of these videos, Tommy Lee Wentner interview, Hana Mantra. It's a great section. We've got the Tattoo Collecting Podcast, the Reinventing Drawing Group. So, if you have a tattoo shop, throwing these on in the background is a great way so that you're not listening to the same music that makes everyone want to kill each other or kill somebody wants to be frustrated. Point being is, if you're looking for an alternative at some point, you could throw these on in the background, and the conversations are actually pretty cool. And there are hours and hours of them. Okay, we definitely want to plug our sponsors. And we've got Inkjet Stencils here, who has a way where you print out from an Epson from one of the eco tanks, so you don't have to keep throwing out the cartridges, and it will print out your stencils. It'll even do like back pieces and shit. It's pretty crazy. This is Andre Malcolm printing out a full back piece here. It's pretty awesome. Now, if you go to the community, and then from the main menu, click on Inkjet Stencils all the way at the bottom. There is this Inkjet videos and free test info. Click on it. We have a digital editing for Inkjet Stencils with Jason. Jason, I think. Shit. It's a pretty awesome demonstration of using the computers to make the stencils. And then there's also a link, free Inkjet Stencil test. This will show you or tell you how you can get some free inkjet stencils mailed to you. So if you have an upcoming project and you're interested to see how it works, then you could check it out. Now, let's see. I'm supposed to feature some of the different spots of the app, just one at a time because there's so much here. There is also a marketplace. And let's see, inside of the marketplace, there is also all sorts of stuff. This is pretty much a board where you can just make posts of things that you have for sale. These are some pretty cool tattoo machines. We've got some stickers from Scene 360. She's pretty awesome. A lot of great posts. The Biomech Encyclopedia, some paintings people have for sale. It's it's pretty much right now just a Wild West. At some point we'll have some sort of facilitation and take a cut. But for now, people are just encouraged to post stuff up and buy and sell shit. And at any given time, the other thing that we would encourage you to do if you're enjoying these is go to courses.reinventingthetattoo.com. And this is where you can sign up for the Reinventing the Tattoo Canon, as well as many of these other seminars. It's pretty awesome. There are also ways to test out some of the free chapters. And that is enough of talking about what we have for sale. I'm going to stop my video, and if you have any questions or comments or any inspirations, people or things that you find inspiring, let us know in the comments. And then I'll be in the background. I could surf to different places. I could read off some of the comments. And I'm also going to make sure that all of the descriptions are in the right place. Thanks for watching live. And thanks again, Jason, for leading these every Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern.
Hey, Gabe. Thanks a lot. Welcome back to the Sunday drawing group. I've been getting a couple of messages from a few people about, how do you draw this, or wanting to go into that, or, hey, can you talk about this? I'm always down to discuss different aspects of tattoo and art and drawing and painting and all that stuff. The downside kind of is that, I'm trying to keep up with everything going on, which is why usually when you see me here on the Sunday afternoon drawing groups, I'm usually working on something that's coming up in a week or two. For example, this hip thigh piece that you guys may have been seeing me tool around with over the past few weeks. Well, this is going down on Wednesday. So, and I haven't even done like a value study, which is something I really prefer to do. You know, granted, given the time, I'd love to do full renderings of everything, but you know, time permitting, it's not always an option. And you know, time management's always been something that I personally have struggled with. Other people might be really, really great at it, not so much me. We've been getting a lot of feedback from a lot of different people around the world, which is amazing. Feel free to, you know, pop down a comment and, or, you know, send us a chat message. Let us know where you're tuning in from. You know, we're always interested to see what corners of the world, you know, people are joining in from. It's always nice to get, you know, wider perspectives from the tattoo community in general, which can really help us curate and really develop a lot better content for, you know, drawing groups such as this, as well as, you know, other drawing groups going on. You know, if you guys have something specific that you wanted to go over, you know, that seems to be in rising popularity, say in Buenos Aires, or you know, say you're out in Kuala Lumpur. Don't get me wrong, like the time difference between there and here, I think it's 2 a.m. there now. Could be wrong. But I mean, you know, if there's something that you see coming up that, you know, you maybe want us to cover or go over, or maybe you think it's something important to discuss, you know, drop us a message or leave a chat, you know, and we'll be happy to discuss whatever you guys might be wanting to talk about. You know, who knows? Maybe we'll send you the Zoom link and you know, have you join us and, you know, open up a really nice lively discussion about these different aspects. If you guys get the chance, by the way, take a look on the Gabe, I'm pretty sure it's posted on the Tattoo Now YouTube and the Tattoo Television YouTube as well. The interview that I hosted yesterday with Devin Cooley,
Yeah,
great
the
guy.
best place to always go for all the replays is going to be to hit the community.reinventing the tattoo
Good point.
or the app, and then go into the library. You could definitely get it on the YouTube channels, but sometimes YouTube, you know, the will change things around. You can always get the stuff at the community. Right, like, and again, we will be changing the YouTubes to the. We have a new reinventing the tattoo YouTube channel coming up. Um, but yeah, so there we go.
Okay. Okay.
It was awesome. It was a great
Yeah.
interview.
It absolutely was very insightful. You know, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to get Devin on is just because, you know, he's every time I talk to him, it's like he's dropping knowledge bombs on me, and it's, you know, totally blowing my mind with all of the stuff that he's picked up and learned over the years, you know, from traveling and talking to different guys. And, you know, here I am doing the same thing, trying to gather more knowledge to improve my skill set. You know, it's always something that you can never stop learning, in my opinion. And, you know, just getting together with him was absolutely mind blowing. Definitely go and check that out if you haven't done so already. It is absolutely worth every minute of it. So as I had mentioned before, I'm just kind of going through and working on, you know, this little guy, just trying to get like a rough value study down. Um, oh, awesome. Looks like we have someone from Texas joining in. That's awesome. Working on some Flash. Absolutely. That's awesome stuff. Yeah, the whole art of creating tattoo Flash, which don't get me wrong, in and of itself is truly an art form. You know, to know all of the different aspects of different subject matter and then be able to go through and curate your own design sheets. If you notice, certain sheets used to have specific themes, like you'd have eagles on one and maybe snakes or lotus flowers on another, or panthers on yet another one. It's you know, it's becoming a lost art because you see a lot more people working digitally. I've done quite a few different hand painted Flash pages, and it's something that I find to me is just very relaxing, and it really helps me get a little bit better hand technique down for certain things. I won't ever give up drawing digitally. However, doing tattoo flash digitally and doing tattoo flash by hand has a completely different aesthetic when you look at it. And I'm a firm believer that while certain aspects do translate from one medium to the other, to go through and be able to replicate something by hand to perfection as though you were doing it on paper, or to replicate something by hand using a brush, using a micron, whatever, uh, you know, it's going to be a little bit different, and it takes a little bit of a different muscle memory set. It, once again, personal opinion and perspective here. I think it's a little bit different than if you were to go through and hand paint something or hand draw something, or work with a can of spray paint as opposed to a spray paint brush in Procreate. It's going to it's going to take a whole different set of muscle memory to go through and replicate them. Oh, looks like we have got someone else joining us, Lestat.
We've got his audio and just need to get the video link. And if you do have headphones, that would be awesome. Hey, how goes it?
What's going on, man?
And then maybe could you turn your camera horizontal or your phone horizontal? Yeah,
There we go.
perfect.
Oh, that's sick, man.
That's
That
cool
background is awesome.
Thanks, man. Dave Tavino.
Yeah, Dave's a good dude, man. He's tattooed me a couple of times. I've got a couple of his originals.
No way.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. Yeah, he tattooed
That's fucking awesome.
He tattooed my left side at the DC Expo 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 7. And he tattooed my thigh the year before that. I saw him down in Puerto Rico, bought a couple of originals off of him. Every time I hear that he's doing commission paintings, I'm like, yo, dude, what's up? Do whatever you want, man. Just, I don't care if you like poop in your hand and smear it on paper, it's going to be gorgeous. So just send me whatever you got, man, whatever you're getting ready to throw out or something you're not happy with. I'll give you good money for it. And he always does. But watching him work and do that stuff in person is a mind-blowing experience.
Yeah, I've seen a few of his videos, and it is.
Dude, I watched him use a Pentel gray wash brush pen to do drop shadows on one of these paintings.
Yeah.
I was like, no, how did that happen?
Yeah, like he just knew exactly where everything should go.
Right. And I'm sitting over here, it would take me 9 years to figure out where to put that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
Just insanely talented. Yeah. So where are you tuning in from?
Man. I'm from South Africa.
Oh, awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's quite an honor being on here with all you guys. I feel like a little munchkin.
No. Everyone is welcome here. All skill levels from all walks of life and all corners of the world, man. We're all here to do the same thing, and that's to learn and, to be better at what we're doing. And the more information and the more discussion that's had, the better it is. So we're definitely happy to have you on here, man. Definitely.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
And so how long have you been tattooing? And are you drawing something now, or?
I'm not currently drawing, no. I've been tattooing for around about 12 years now.
Cool.
Yeah, my Instagram handle is Big Tasty Tats.
Big Tasty Tats. I'm gonna go through and add you right now, man.
And how did you find out about the show, the stream here?
I'm a big fan of Guy Aitchison, and when I saw him posting about reinventing the tattoo, I was just like, I need to get on this. Like, for me, being able to connect with artists like on a global level it's actually mind blowing.
It's pretty nuts, you know.
Yeah.
It's like having the access from a tattoo convention, but like, you know, on the phone. Are you using the
Yeah,
app, or
without
are you?
actually having to go.
Well, are you using the app, or are you on the computer? Or?
I'm on Zoom on my phone. Yeah.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Yeah. And then you found the link through the mobile app, then.
Yeah. With the notifications and stuff.
Oh, amazing! So this is working. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I know Jason Leeser. I'm a big fan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, you're definitely gonna have to join us more often, you know, time permitting and all that stuff. You're always welcome, man. Always like to get different perspectives, and I always love to link up with other people from different parts of the world. I was talking to a friend of mine that lives and works in Malaysia the other day, and you know, we were going back and forth about, you know, kind of like, okay, well, here's the way I'm drawing my mums now. You know, how are you doing yours? Or, you know, what kind of new stuff have you been learning? And he's literally halfway around the world.
Yeah.
So, you know, to be able to share information on a global scale so that we can all improve, it's
Yeah, dude,
amazing, man.
that's totally amazing, man.
You know, and to be able to sit down and have people that you can contact regularly and reach out to regularly and just discuss different topics. You know, it's putting the tattoo community, it's shrinking it down, because now we can go through and we can talk anytime. You know,
Yeah.
before it would be like, okay, let me give you a call, I'll arrange an airplane, you know, and I'll fly out there and I'll spend like a week or two, and then inevitably someone's still going to have questions after someone leaves. And then it's like, oh, well, now I got to get back there to talk to them again, you
Yeah.
know. But now we can use Zoom, we can use Skype, we can use whatever, man. And it's just shrinking everything down, and everyone's becoming that much closer.
Yeah, and especially like me being from Africa, like I never in my life even thought that I'll be able to like face to face talk with artists around the world. But like I've been talking to quite a few international artists that I've been linking up with, and like to me that experience has just been like totally humbling and like awesome just to
Absolutely,
learn
man.
from other people. Like I talk to Jack Connolly a lot. One of my mates from Cape Town, he's that side now, Dean Gunther. I don't know if you guys
Okay.
have seen his work. Yeah, he's
I
really
know Jack's
busting
work.
the realism stuff that side.
Yeah, man, it's amazing just to be able to share information on this kind of a scale. You know, and I'm over here like, you know, little guy from outside of Philadelphia who most people have probably never heard of until I started doing this. And you know, it's great to be able to get. I used to have to save all my money every year, and I would pick one place in the world and I would fly out there for a convention, right? And I would just spend the time and I would go out there and I would talk to as many people as I could, you know, and just get as much information as I could. And I would bring that back, and I'd be mentally taking notes the whole time, watching everyone work, like being at London a couple of years in a row, watching Nico Hurtado, and then going around the corner and seeing Mike Rubendahl, and, you know, getting to watch these legends in tattooing, you know, and then turning around and having, you know, guys like James Tex and Anthony Tex there, or Clint Danroth, you know, like some of the guys that I absolutely idolize in the tattoo
Yeah.
scene, and being able to watch that. And, you know, I'll ask them, I'm polite about it. It's like, hey, do you mind if I just like stand here and watch you work for, you know, a half hour or an hour or so? Maybe ask you a few questions. Would that be all right? You know, and yeah, man, pull up a chair, join us. It's a great time. Like, and it's like, whoa, you don't even know, like, you don't know me hardly at all. Like, and you're willing, you know, to answer my questions. Like, it's
Yeah, it's
incredible.
mind blowing.
You know, and now we can do it all virtually. Well, we kind of have to do it virtually. And it's like, I don't know, it's every week without question. It's amazing to see where people are tuning in from, what they're doing, what they're up to, what they're working on, you know, and to go through and say, okay, who's got questions? You know, everyone's got questions about everything. I've got a million questions, you know, just about different people's drawing process, their art process, You know, how are they creating the effects that they are in tattooing? You know, and to get feedback and comments from different people, and to join guys like Guy on Monday night and sit down and work with them directly, you know, and be able to sit down in like a virtual classroom and, you know, have him go through and say, okay, well, so we've got this sketched out. Now we're going to start working on this, and here's how we're going to be doing this. You know, to be able to sit down with someone of that caliber and learn from them directly as they're drawing something out, it's like, it's another level of just knowledge that
Okay, there we
Yeah,
go.
thought
no,
I had to have access to.
definitely.
So,
Hey,
Carolyn.
Caroline, how goes it?
Hey guys, trying to figure out how to do this on my phone.
Awesome. It
You're
seems
doing
to be
pretty well.
working.
Yeah. So, and I'm watching you guys on my tablet.
Nice. You might need to be a little careful because if there's audio coming out of the it seems like it's working with no echo. But sometimes if you're watching while it's going on,
Yeah, I turned the volume off on the tablet, so at least
Awesome.
then I could see what's going on.
awesome. And why don't you introduce yourself? You've been tattooing for quite a while. You did a stint on the TV, I think. Is that the truth?
Yeah. Yes. I started tattooing in 1998 with Steve Ferguson at the Ink Spot here in New Jersey. And I've been on a very long journey since then. I was on TV for a very, very short blink of an eye because I didn't really seek it out. It just sort of found me. And on my journey, I was like, well, maybe I should be here. And when I was there, I realized that at that point in my life, I needed like a happy, productive environment around me. And reality TV, they really don't, especially at first when you get on the show, they don't have that environment on set. So it was like, okay, then I don't need to be here, so I can go home. So I left.
Yeah, fair enough. No, but you also
Yeah.
you have some amazing posts. You're also doing history posts. Is that one of the things I saw on your Instagram?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have the career that I have if it weren't for the other people that came before me. And so I just find it really intriguing. You know, like even at the shows and stuff like that, like Dina's show, the all-female show down in Orlando when she had it, she had Stan there, Bowery Stan and Eddie and whatnot. And it's just fun to just sit there and listen to the history. And so I have, you know, books on it and stuff like that, and just the interesting things that I'm finding, I put out.
Awesome. Yeah, I love the Philadelphia Eddie interviews, and he's got a whole podcast of him doing his. I believe he read his books.
Oh, did he? Oh, I need to check that out because I have the books. I think I have them. But yeah, when you're reading the books, to hear his voice, so it'd be awesome to just actually hear his voice.
Can anybody fact check that for me right now? I mean, I'm looking it up right now. I'm gonna share this window. Philadelphia Eddie is fucking share sound. We'll see. We might even be able to get to the sound. Okay.
What?
Crazy
Oh,
Philadelphia Eddie
tattoo
tattooing the
history
life and
in the
times of
making.
Crazy Philadelphia Eddie. I'm just gonna pick a random one. New Jersey. We've got some New Jersey people in the house here, so let's hear. Here we go.
Back to the tattooing.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
I was drawing some of these new designs I had brought back from California. I was simplifying them, but they were nice designs. The guys enjoyed them. Something new, something to fight the competition with, better designs, new designs. And with the old stuff that I was taking down, I was accumulating quite a bit of flash. And I thought, you know, I'm going to go check out this Fort Dix and McGuire Air Force Base over in New Jersey, where I was getting some customers on Sundays mostly. I said, I'm going to go check that place out. I had checked it out. When they first closed New York, I went there, and the town council didn't want a tattooer there, and that was that. But I said, maybe I'll go back. It's a few years has gone by. Maybe there's a different different attitudes, different town council. So I get a hold of my friend Tony the Pirate.
Oh man, I don't even want to interrupt it, but
if he'd be interested. We'll try and open a
what
place.
we'll have to do is we should have a listening parties or something.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
It's pretty much the whole 9 yards here, and
I got to meet Philly Eddie a couple of times, man, and the stories that guy could tell you would just be absolutely incredible.
absolutely 100%. Let's see here. Hoary Smoke with the movies. Anybody check this out? We'll see if this plays. Because sometimes I have trouble with YouTube.
They
You hear that?
sent for the
Yes, sir.
Navy to come to Tulagi.
We'll
The
watch all this.
gallant
This is a
Navy
trailer.
agreed. With 1,000
Sometimes I
sections
wonder,
in different
how did I ever get
directions?
mixed up in
My
all this
God,
shit in
what
the
a
first
fucked up
place?
stampede. Fuck 'em all, fuck 'em all. The long and the short and the tall.
Sailor Jerry Collins.
There'll be
Pure,
no
down-to-earth,
promotion this
tattoo
side
artist.
of the
They called him a
ocean.
master
So
at
cheer
tattooing,
up,
and it was
my
true.
lads, fuck 'em all.
He was really a hellraiser. Craziness, the wildcat strain.
Took his own teeth out when they went bad. Take a chopstick and hit it with a hammer.
He's a terrific artist. Oh my God, this guy, you know, he just was pushing the envelope.
Light years ahead of most of the tattooers. You can't beat him.
He valued freedom with a capital F.
Old Ironsides.
Extremely anti-government.
The only guy I ever met that hated Nixon because Nixon was too liberal.
Stayed home-based in Honolulu.
He loved Hawaii.
Dude screwed and tattooed. I mean, it was for real. That's what they did.
I don't know when he slept.
Jerry was an incurable romantic. He really had a poetic soul. The sea was the overriding thing with Jerry. He'd sailed the China Sea, he'd been to Japan, he'd been to all these places in Asia.
He was influenced by Japanese art, but he didn't try to copy it.
He loved so much about Japanese culture, but he still had that memory of World War II. The undercurrent was, we're going to learn this and we're going to beat them at their own game.
One of the most important tattooers of the 20th century.
Fucking Sailor Jerry, Jesus Christ.
Yup.
Fucking great movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt Jackson's camera.
Yeah, there we are.
Yeah, I just muted because we're going to class, so we're kind of talking throughout the whole thing.
Somebody's playing it in the background.
Okay. That better?
Awesome.
There we go.
We had it muted because we're doing a class, so we've been kind of playing music and talking throughout the process.
That might have been me playing it in the background.
Oh, gotcha.
How goes it, everyone?
Can't complain.
Yeah, so Carolyn, what are you working on?
I'm working on doing a color mock-up of a cover-up I started the other day.
Right
Cool.
on.
Yeah, keep that up. I'm gonna spotlight you for everyone. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right, cool.
So just trying to figure out, get my different layers on there, just trying to figure out what colors I want so that it's all balanced and everything. The fish is showing up really yellow on the screen, but he's more orange. So, but
Awesome.
yeah, trying to figure out, now I'm stuck on what color to put in his eyeball. I don't know.
Oh, we got a screen share going on. That's cool.
Yeah. Is that coming?
This is one of my recent pieces that I was designing.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Nice, man. Love the pop art kind of feel that you have going on with some of it.
Yeah, this client
Yeah.
just lets me go balls to the wall, so that's fine.
Definitely.
You know, it's fun to see a style where you really could mix, like, you know, the different rendering styles like together in a crazy way like that and make it work. It's cool.
That's the
Yeah,
next what we're working
I
on
love
right now.
mixing stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's cool. So it looks like you had, was that a back piece uh, sketch for somebody or?
Yeah, I got one of Kali here.
Oh yeah, cool.
Heck, dude.
Yeah, there you go.
I love the way that you incorporated some of the geometric work and
Yeah,
some
I
geometric
like to
symmetry in
bounce
the
around with
background there.
styles. This
It's
is
definitely
something
a
more
great way to do it. Oh, that's awesome.
Japanesey.
Nice. Do you guys do you know Ed Perdomo?
Not sure I've ever heard of him, no.
The let me Ed Perdomo. Let's see here if I could find him. He's a oh yeah, oh my god, this is him. I think Ed Perdomo. A Kapla tattoo. No, maybe. Oh yeah. The other. This will stop. The. Oh no. So after you're done, I'll fire him up. Keep showing off your work. Do you have any other? Do you have any pieces on here that you want to pick up clients for? Or?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, now's the time. See.
Got a Drake piece here that I want to bust out. Got some pixelation going on in the beard area.
Oh yeah, cool.
Very nice. It's almost like it's you've seen some of those 8-bit styles from like the old
Yeah.
Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Definitely kind of
That's
seems
exactly.
like you got some of that going on.
Yeah, so kind of like Nintendo moving over to like GTA 5-ish with the top part. Yeah.
Definitely has some of that like 1980s color scheme going on with the teal and the pink.
Well, I'm a 90s baby.
Right. Same here.
90s? Wow.
There's a fantasy piece.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, cool.
Love the way that you have that waterfall coming down from where the river and the rocks are at the top.
Yeah, it was really hard to like merge the two, but I kind of managed to do it quite nice.
Yeah, it definitely works well, and it gives your eye something that will connect both of those scenes.
Yeah, and it plays with the top and the bottom.
Right.
Yeah, that's clever.
Something more J freestylish.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Still need to finish this off.
You know, it might be kind of neat. We have this 3D art gallery kind of that we've been putting like paintings and stuff in, or trying to like we haven't got anything like finished because it's a fair amount of work. But I'm wondering if we should have a gallery of like wanna-dos for different artists. Although I guess that wouldn't quite work because then people would just go to different artists. But yeah, anyways, these are cool designs for sure.
This is a piece I busted for the Soweto Ink Tattoo Convention in Johannesburg.
Nice. Love those color complements too, man.
Thanks so much. I think I actually have a picture here where it's completed.
Getting a real good peek into your computer psyche. Oh, look at that. Well, we're picking up more viewers than before. Thanks again for everybody for tuning in. If you have any questions or inspirations, put them into the to the comment section. We'll surf through.
There's also another fun style I'm trying out.
Kind of like with the splatter in the background. Very nice.
Just can't find that picture of the completed tattoo.
I should show. I'll get Dave Tevin. I'll show fired up here too.
Yeah, maybe I should reach out to Dave and see if he'd be interested in coming on doing an interview or.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'll be crazy. I'm a major fan of Tavinal, Victor Chill, Jay Freestyle, Josh Payne.
Victor's someone that I'd love to be able to just sit down and listen to him talk about everything.
I just want to see him put his color theory to work, man.
I've watched him do tattoos at Puerto Rico, and it is mind blowing.
I believe
how
that.
He saturates his color is just on a whole new level. You know, and it's impressive, but yet intimidating at the same time, because you're sitting down and you're like, I know what you're doing.
But
I'm putting on. I just took over the screen here. I'm going to put on Victor's work
100%.
here. Victor Chill here.
Victor's color saturation is on such a whole new level. It's unbelievable. I mean, those color blends and the color saturation is just unreal. Yeah, we just got a couple of comments. Jerry P says, Dave, please, oh man, he's so effing good. Even with Copics, he's a joy to watch. You should watch him work with some Pentel brush pens and some paint markers, and it is a mind-blowing experience.
Well, yeah, let's show off some of Dave's work too. We can go back and forth. Look at that. So, wow.
Yeah,
that Hanya is amazing.
Wonder if I have my yeah, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can pull out some of the originals that I have of his.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck.
I love sharing my collection with different people, so there we go.
Yeah, let me I guess stop the share here. Oh, he's off. Okay, let me I'm gonna throw on the Ed Perdomo real quick too while Jason's getting his stuff. This is good here.
Oh.
So he's like all large, crazy.
Probably the best way that I can go through. This is just some of the collection of original artwork that I've got. And I'll switch my cameras around. Let's see. Let's do this. So just to give you guys an idea, I collect a lot of art prints from all over the world. And every time I'm at another major show, I always go through and try to pick up a few. So some of them are originals. Most of them are prints. Got some James Tex in here. You know.
Can you get the camera closer? Or,
I can indeed. Let's see what I can do.
Yeah, if you just move it slowly, then.
These are just a few of them. Got some Echo in there. Sorry if it's a little bit jittery.
All good.
James Tex, Daniel Novias. There's another James Tex, his Vampire Lady, which is absolutely incredible.
That's amazing.
And I've got a whole series from Dean Sacred that are signed and numbered. And then Dean Sacred put out a whole bunch of tattoo machine prints. It's kind of what's in here. I'm actually going to be taking those to get framed in another couple of days. Here we go. So I got like a full couple of spreads of Dave Tevenaugh's works. You know, that's a comic book cover that he did, and that's
The
actually
Venom?
signed by Stan Lee.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And then, you know, a couple of other ones. So I think that one was actually Devin Cooley. And then these are originals from Dave that I picked up. So we'll see if I can, you know, and just looking at how he like misted a lot of it, you know, some of the texture.
Yeah, because he uses a lot of airbrushing and markers and everything over one another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just tiny little tricks, man, that he's got. I don't know how well it's going to focus in on this, but
Rod's talking about that veiled mask. He's Rod's checking out the stream. Joshua Vaughns also says, "Hey guys, fashionably late to the show." Joshua's also a bullsick artist.
yeah, I watched him. So I watched Dave do this purple Hanyu mask down here at the bottom. I watched him paint that live in front of me in Puerto Rico, and it was absolutely insane. And I asked him if anyone had claimed it yet or if anyone had commissioned it. And he's like, "No, man." He's like, "If you want it, it's yours. I'll sell it to you." And I'm like, "Yeah, mine.
I'll
Consider
take it. I'll
consider
take
it
3.
sold." I said, "Just tell me when and how much, and you know, I'll stop by and pick it up, you know, at the end of the day on Sunday." So really, really
That's
great
amazing.
dude. You know, that's a small little peek into all of the artwork that I have that's not even framed. I've got some other large scale like back piece stuff in here, and they're absolutely massive. I've got a few other pages of stuff, some Anthony Tax, a couple other things, but yeah, that's a small little peek into the art collection that I've acquired so far. I don't know. I
Cool.
just like collecting artwork from different people and keeping it around as inspiration.
Hell yeah. Does anybody else have a
Yeah,
mobile
definitely.
camera that they could show off their art collection with, or if they're comfortable?
I've got some artwork I can show. We're at the studio.
Sweet. Perfect.
Awesome, man.
Oh, yeah.
Garcia.
Damn. Whoa, slow down. Slow down. Go back to that.
Yeah, sure.
Who did that?
Phil Garcia.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That's sick. Is that a print or?
Yeah, it's a print.
Yeah, cool. Did you just get it right from his website, or?
No, I bought it at the Villain Arts New Orleans show.
Awesome.
Yeah, that doesn't even do it justice either,
fucking
because
cool.
the closer in you get on it, the more tiny little minute details you see.
That shit. Phil's amazing. He's a really great fucking person, too.
The thing, and there's like little like Easter eggs, like balloon. And
Yep.
there's a little paper boat.
Nice. I definitely, last time I was on the West Coast, or maybe not last time, one of the times I was on the West Coast, I made the pilgrimage to see him at a shop there in California, and it was fucking amazing. He's awesome. He's out of control good.
Yeah.
He also did some talks at the Richmond Tattoo Convention, made me nearly cry. Oh shit, okay, is that Hurtado, Matt Hurtado?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Let's see, I've got there's a Paul Nice watercolor.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, it's super rad. I watched him painting it online, and he said it was for sale, and I was like, yeah, I can't pass that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sweet. Sweet. Is that your wanna do board or?
So this is one of the studio. We just throw a bunch of random ones up there. We've all got our own, but
Uh-huh. Well,
I
definitely
Wait,
before
you
we're
guys
done
put up
here.
a board in the shop with wannabe tats?
oh yeah,
Absolutely, man.
yeah. All of us have them. I'll go through and show you all of our boards too.
Cool. Yeah, let's see the art, and then we'll go for the boards.
This is one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, that's mad.
sick.
Oh, that's fun.
Who did
Jason
that one?
Leeser.
If you could keep your camera sideways, that would be great.
Sideways, okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's awesome.
Fuck.
What
Yeah.
molecule is that on the hand? Is that a DMT?
I think so. I tried figuring out. I think
Something. Could be carbon too.
Yeah.
Carbon or coffee. It's not coffee. Coffee would be way too complex. Yeah, cool.
The big me's.
Yep,
Uh-huh.
Boss.
This is a friend of mine, Mitch Little. He's in I think he's in St. Louis now.
Sweet.
Mike Chambers.
I got the Sullen t-shirt with that piece on.
Yeah. Really cool charcoal. And I got New Orleans artist.
Oh, yeah.
And we got some graffiti piece. One of the someone do.
That's amazing.
Birdies.
Mark Longnecker.
Oh, yeah.
I got tattooed by him at Hill City.
Uh,
This is a collaborative sheet that we did for a charity in a group online.
Awesome. That's a cool way to do charity tattoos. Like they fit within this card.
Yeah, for sure. And this is one of the artists' boards, my apprentices.
Cool.
Let's see.
Oh wow. Who did that?
Honestly, it was a found piece at Goodwill.
Huh.
I don't.
Nice.
Actually,
You know, it was pretty fun. Who was the conversation with? They were talking about. Oh, it was with Travis, Louie, and Guy. They were talking about if you take art out of context, does it how does it keep its value? And like some art pieces that were if you saw it at a garage sale, is it still worth $100,000 kind of a thing? Or but that yeah, look at all this.
yeah, he's a phenomenal. If you don't follow his stuff, this is my wife's board.
Oh, sweet.
Wow.
More 420 friendly stuff.
That's a Dane Smith.
That's cool. Sweet.
That's Flock.
Flux.
And some of my paintings. Let's see.
Sweet. Cool.
And then this one's
Yeah.
like stuff that I really just want to do.
Cool.
I've got more stuff at home, but
Sweet. And where's your shop located again for people that are just tuning in?
Columbus, Indiana.
Cool.
We're here working on a collab right now.
Sweet. Let's see. You want to zoom in on the reference and maybe the tattoo if the client doesn't mind. Oh yeah.
That's some dope.
Cool.
It's got the mandala work started.
Awesome. Sweet. Okay. That was. I love being able to take tours around. It's.
Yeah, super fun.
It's crazy cool.
Yeah, we're just a small 1,000 square foot, but just open floor plan.
Wow. Sweet.
We're relocating in the next year because we're outgrowing this location. But
Well, it's actually probably a pretty good time, or like you were saying, in a year, like just as things are about to let up, will really be the best time for renters, right? Or
Yeah.
even buyers. It's just for everyone's fucking getting decimated. I know. I look at my town. There's probably like a dozen, storefronts that are open.
Yeah, there's a lot of empty businesses are all around us, so it shouldn't be too hard to find a spot. We just struggle finding someone that will rent to tattoo studios.
That sucks.
Yeah. We'd love to, but
Has anybody else had any issues getting people to rent to you? Or I was really always really lucky that we're a pretty progressive area. They everybody they were at least accepting enough, and then when they saw the effect, they were down. But I know it's not like that everywhere. Clearly, it's not like that everywhere.
Nothing currently. Back when I tried to get a shop in 2008, it was hard to get somebody to rent to you. They're like, no, I don't want that here. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It was definitely like I was also very lucky with the tattoo conventions that the venues were always like, we were always kind of representing some really impressive tattooers. So there's definitely some real good eye candy kind of uh, uh, action going on. But it was definitely very much uh, we were lucky that we went to places that for the most part wanted us. There was only a couple of venues that turned us away.
yeah, they're really accepting of tattoos and stuff around the area. There's just been a few studios that have been here for so long, and that's all that. And then I don't know, and it's really Republican, so they don't. I don't know. Some of the older generation are the ones renting, so they still have that stigma.
Sure.
Yeah, tattoos are only for bikers and sailors and ex-cons. Yeah.
Yep, pirates.
Yar. Yeah, what they don't realize is that a lot of the people that they know, and a lot of the more traditionally white collar industries, your surgeons, your high priced lawyers and all that stuff, a lot of them have tattoos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have got clients of every type of person, so it's changing.
They have really good clients though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't ever forget. I was tattooing someone. They were just getting something small. It was like a little walk-in tattoo. About 7 or 8 years ago, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, something like that. And just sitting down having a conversation with him. Oh, so what do you do? Oh, you work for the government. Okay. Well, like what do you do and all that stuff? And it's just I can't talk to you about that. Okay. Well, I mean, what branch, anything like that. I'm not allowed to tell you. And I'm sitting back thinking, what kind of a super secret organization does this person work at?
Probably the FBI.
I was thinking it was something a little bit deeper than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just from the way that they held themselves and like the very short, very direct responses that say, "I'm sorry, but you can't know that." That makes me think that it was a little bit deeper than the FBI.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds a little intimidating.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, I better make sure this is 100% perfect. Lord knows I don't want you to have people visit me in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you hear a report about me going missing and ending up at a black site in Cuba.
Oh God. Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
No.
Yeah, I've tattooed like so many people, so many different kinds of people over the years. Priests, pastors, like everybody. I don't think there's anybody who, any strata that doesn't get tattooed. They just don't let other people know.
It's
Exactly.
exceptionally unique as but yeah, that is true. It's a very human. Yeah, pretty much
People
everyone.
get them for all different reasons too. Some people get them just because they enjoy the art, and some people get them because, oh, well, I want this as a memorial. Okay, cool, whatever. I'm not, that's not for me to decide. You get it why you want to get it, but everyone's got their different reasons for getting them done. Some people get them as like celebrations, like, hey, I just, finished my military contract. Awesome, time to get all the tattoos that I've always wanted. Some people get them when they come back from deployment, especially military people. Either way, people find their reasons to get them done, and as long as they keep finding those reasons, I'll keep tattooing them.
Yeah. Well, my favorite was always the people who were running into the tattoo shop right before they got deployed, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, why do you want to like poke holes in your first line of defense against infection and go into this foreign country?
Yeah, well, I mean, the intelligence level there makes you wonder. Really makes you wonder sometimes.
Yeah.
One of the.
Sorry, Eddie was talking about like going to Fort Dix and trying to open up a shop there. I actually ended up working in a shop near Fort Dix for 4 years.
Nice. Yeah, it's definitely a well, to the point of everyone's getting tattooed, right? Like, yeah, I mean, it's just it's if you're about to go off to be in the military, I think it's the rite of passage, right? And it's just very clear. That's but for me, one of the things, like when people are looking down on tattoos or whatever, it's like it's for me and a lot of the people I know, it's literally allowed us to travel anywhere, not anywhere, but like a lot of different places in the world, and eat a lot of good food and see a lot of good sights. Like I know the people that you can see online that are all frowning upon or whatever. It's like, well, from my personal experience, I mean, I work really hard, but tattooing will literally take you around the world, to fine dining establishments, and I don't know what to say. Whatever. I'll see you at the top. But ultimately, it's because tattooing allows people to become who they want to be. To the point of the power of tattooing. Hopefully people are using it to become more complete, to remember positive times and places, or to bring out things in them that will be a positive compounding effect over time, as opposed to latching on to the nightmares of the past, or some sort of it could also be a downer for to your point. You better not fuck up the guy who's has the black site access, because
Yeah.
if he's looking at his arm every day and being like, that motherfucker,
Yeah,
every
right. Next thing you know, I have the NSA knocking on my door.
They don't knock.
Yeah, I know. No, they just appear from your closet at night.
I've definitely been watching way too
hello,
much
Jason.
Blacklist.
Oh, you again? If I had known you were going to be here, I would have made you a cup of coffee.
Mhm.
Well, we're gonna hop off here for a little bit, guys. Might hop back on later if that's cool with you, Gabe.
Oh yeah, anytime. I'm not. I'll probably go on for at least another like a half hour. I'm probably going to. We'll take my hour long break. Not my hour long break. My break at an hour, where I tune in, but I'm not going to be driving. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Cool.
After an hour, from here on out, it's all for fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I will see you guys. If not, I will see you guys Monday.
Awesome. Thanks.
Take care, man. I'll see you then.
That's it. Well, yeah. Hopefully, we'll see some of the. You're not going to see it tonight for Baxter's painting.
No, I with doing this, I kind of slacked and didn't get all the supplies I needed, so I probably
Oh,
won't.
good. You'll be able to catch the replay anytime, right? That's the beauty of
for
it.
sure.
Cool, man. Cheers.
Yep. See you guys.
Later. Yeah, I've got a little bit longer I can hang out here and keep this thing going. But we are supposed to get a decent amount of snow today, and I'm out of gas for the snowblower. So I have definitely got to run out in a little bit and get some gas. But I mean, I've got a little bit longer before it starts to come down. So
It hasn't started by you. It started snowing here.
No, it did start. It's just not really that deep yet. So
Okay.
it's supposed to really start coming down in my area around 4 o'clock, apparently. So
My soft little flurries now have turned into big chunks.
yep.
I'm in Bradley Beach.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just north of Philadelphia, by about 20 minutes outside city limits. So I'm just kind of waiting for the mass accumulation to start. Then again, with weather in the northeast of the US, they might say it's, 6 to 12 inches, and we might get less than an inch,
Right.
because no one ever knows.
I know, yeah. The report went from like, well, maybe 4-ish to now, like, by my sister, they're predicting like 18 inches.
Yeah. And what might actually end up happening, who knows? It might not even snow at all.
Yeah.
I would love to be a weatherman just to go through and never have to worry about what you tell people. And it's like, oh, well, I was wrong. Oh, well, you can
Yeah,
literally sit down and say, it's going to snow. It's going to snow. Oh, it's bright and sunny and 80 degrees. Well, I was wrong.
I think it's like Home Depot, like calling them all out and be like, yeah, we didn't sell enough snow shovels or something.
I mean, that would explain it. That would definitely be a legitimate reason why. It's like, yeah, we're just trying to clear out inventory this month of snow shovels and the last of this salt. We know we're not
Yeah.
really going to get a whole lot more snow this year, but if you could just help us out with that, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, we ordered too much of everything.
Yeah, just help us clear the inventory. You'll be fine. You guys can say whatever you want and not have to worry about being right anyway. So, I mean, come on, just give us a hand.
Yep.
Over here, boss, we got 30-year-olds that have never seen snow.
No.
Well, we've seen enough for everyone. Yeah.
And the right layer.
It's funny. I was, talking to a friend of mine that lives in Southern California. And, in Southern California, you've got a varied climate where if you go up into the mountains, you can see the snow and you
Yeah.
can go skiing, snowboarding, whatever, but if you're, down in the valley, it's like 80 degrees and warm with cloudless skies almost every day, and it's like, if you want to go up there and see snow, you can. I'm like, you come out here in the wintertime, you come visit me. Trust me, you'll understand the pain that snow is. And she did. She came out and was hanging out, going to school and whatnot. This was quite a few years ago. She was hanging out here, renting a room from me, going to school, and we got hit with a major snowstorm. And she got stranded at the train station for 2 or 3 hours. And I'm like, yeah, now you understand what we go through all the time. Gotta love it. Of course, I am very thankful. I'm very thankful that I live where I live and not too much further north. Even though it might say like, oh, we might get 6 to 8 inches. Oh, people that live in Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Michigan, anywhere up by those Great Lakes, even upstate New York, they're like 6 to 8 inches. Yeah, to us, that's a light dusting. We'll get 30 inches in a weekend, easy. Weekend after weekend after weekend. And it's like, yeah, I'm good on that. I can't begin to imagine what it's like to literally be snowed in all day
They do
until
get
the snow
snowed in,
melts.
yeah.
That's madness.
I mean, there's basically two different outcomes, right? If you were thoughtful enough and hit the package store before the snowstorm locked you in, it's really no problem. I mean, if you're at a train station that happens to have a bar that's open, you have to spend another 3 hours there. Well, you could have a couple drinks and then sober up before I gotta I really try very hard to never let the weather hinder me unless it's actually like physically hindering me. But like I don't know. I don't even mind it. I feel ecstatic when it's crappy ass weather. I don't know. It's hard, like it's just weather. I dig it. I don't mind it. Although I also grew up in New England, so I don't mind the cold. I don't like shoveling, but I do also refuse to get a snow blower. I still shovel my driveway.
Oh, that's fun.
Old school.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
The 5 or 6 times a year that I'm fucking shoveling heavy fucking wet snow, and I'm like, oh man, I should get a snow blower.
Right. Yeah, Jerry P just mentioned a comment. They're in Newfoundland. Don't
Oh,
mention more snow, please.
how
Sorry,
much snow have
I
you
won't
got
I
so
won't say
far?
the S word again. I promise.
I think the last time we had proper snow was in 2007.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, if you want, man, come and visit me. Come and visit me in like January, February, or March. I'll let you do all the shoveling. You can, we'll make
I
sure
can
that you
have
get out
fun.
there and salt. We'll stay inside and paint the whole time while it's coming down and wait until it really builds. And then I'll just have you go outside and shovel the whole time. This way you can get the true authentic experience. You know what I
I can
mean?
get the wax on, wax off.
Well, yeah, not so much that, more so okay, I don't want to lift another shovel because it's really heavy and my back is really hurting.
Gotta lift with your knees.
Yes, always lift with your knees.
Jason, the way you're selling this, I hate to say it, but I would recommend, if you're going to want to experience the snow, to go to somebody that likes snowboarding or skiing or something, and have fun recreationally with the snow, so that you become addicted to the thrill of going 25 miles an hour in a death-defying. I don't go skiing. Fuck that. I'll actually stick to the shoveling. But the point is, there is a lot of people. I have seen people from warm climates successfully adapt to the snow if they get addicted to the thrill. It's like,
Very
But on
true,
the other
very
hand,
true.
I've also seen a lot of people from California come through and fucking, I could wear flip flops, unless I'm like gonna, late December, January, like right now it's fucking 1 degree out. I'm not wearing my fucking flip flops. But if it was 35 or more, I probably would be. My point being, California people could come out severely underdressed and really underestimate the cold for sure. But done right, with multiple layers, it's just a minor inconvenience. And again, the whole point is to have a positive mindset and to think, even if the discomfort is fucking finger numbing, it's still kind of pretty. It's nice and
Oh,
bright
it
out.
is. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I
As long
have
as it's happening outside and we don't have to go out there, it's all good.
right.
Just look at it through the window.
I was very fortunate in my life to grow up living in a whole bunch of different areas. My parents moved around a lot when I was a kid, and obviously I was a kid, so I had to move with them. So, I've lived in some pretty interesting places like Anchorage, Alaska.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. I lived up there for a couple of years when I was a kid. And the snowbanks that they used to get, my parents would always joke that, I'd get up there and they would know when I was getting too big because they could put me on these huge, like 5 or 6 foot snowbanks.
Oh, yeah.
And, I would just get up there and play, and not think anything of it. And they figured when I would get too big, I would just fall through the top crust. But at that point in time, they could just stick their hands in, grab me, and pull me out.
Uh-huh.
But it's when you've lived in areas like that, from a young age, you learn layers. And when you think you have enough layers, you add another one.
Yeah. Hey, another amazing tattooer that hails from Alaska, a world motherfucking class tattooer, like out of control. We talk about him every other week, if not once a week. Adrian Lee.
Really?
Yeah. When I caught up with him a couple of years ago, I used to joke that I was raised by wolves. I got moved out pretty early and whatnot, but then he was like, yeah, I grew up in Alaska. I didn't have an address, right? People just had to mail to my town, and then every once in a while we'd go in and pick it up. And I
Yep.
was like, oh, okay, you actually may have been raised by wolves. But yeah, he's full on from Alaska up there, and got out, went down to San Francisco, living in the heart of San Francisco now. But yeah,
Yeah, that's, I mean,
interesting trivia fact.
I can't really say I was born there or I'm from there. I mean, I did live there for a little bit, but I can't really say that I was born there because I was
Sure.
born in Houston, Texas.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So, I mean, that kind of explains what's wrong with me.
Mhm.
And then we moved to Anchorage, Alaska, and then we moved to San Ramon, California, and then we moved out to Pennsylvania. So, and that was all while I was growing up. So it was an interesting life, but I got to experience some not fun things, like falling through the ice as a kid. Yeah, that was
Oof.
scary.
How'd you get out? How long were you under?
I fortunately it was just the top of my head. My dad was able to reach down, grab the hood of my jacket, and pull me right back up.
Okay.
Yeah, literally saved my life when I was a kid. So it's pretty awesome. But I also survived the 1989 California earthquake, which was something like a 6.7, and the epicenter was like a mile or two away from where I was living.
Oof.
Yeah, that was insanely scary. It's the one that happened during the World Series and collapsed part of the Golden Gate Bridge. It was, or maybe it was the San Francisco Bay Bridge.
Any
One of the
bridge
bridges
going
out
down
there.
is fucking not good.
Yeah. So, and that was like terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Granted, if you're born and raised in California, you're like, oh, the ground's shaking again. Ooh,
Right.
not me, man. I was terrified out of my mind. I was like, are the trees going to fall? Are the buildings going to collapse? What's going on? Did someone just set off a bomb? Like,
Sure. No good.
yeah, definitely scary.
The earthquake, there was a perceptible earthquake in 2000, I think 11 here in New Jersey. And it was just the weirdest thing. Like, because we were sitting in the lobby of the shop that I was working at the time, and they had these huge plate glass windows and these huge hanging lamps. And then like all of a sudden, all the birds just like left the awning. And then you started to just see the lamps just like swinging back and forth, and you're just like sitting there like, what's happening? Like, it's so weird. No bridges collapsed that.
It is absolutely, I mean, when you've been in an earthquake, like, you kind of understand that, like, hey, they come out of nowhere. You don't really know, and you just kind of have to deal with it. It's not like there's anything you can really do, but it's just a weird phenomenon. Something I had never personally experienced, and still to this day horrifies me. So, and then I moved out here to Pennsylvania. But it's having all of those different experiences and having seen and gone to some of the places that I've been fortunate enough to visit, it just opens your eyes to different ways of life in the world. Granted, I haven't been everywhere that I want to go. There's still plenty of places left, but I've been able to see some of the great wonders of the world, and that's all because of tattooing. I've seen the canal in Panama, that bridges the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. I've been there and seen that in person. And it's absolutely mind-blowing when you're there and you think to yourself, this was completely and totally man-made. When you can see these massive cruise liners going through the locks in the canal. And I mean, you're talking like maybe an inch or so worth of clearance on each side. just barely enough to squeeze in, and they shut the door and you just see everything going. It's incredible. And that's all thanks to tattooing.
That's neat. I haven't
So we just got a really great question in by Nate, who's joining us, I believe, from the Reinventing the Tattoo community, who's watching it on that. And Nate just asked the question, what is your thought on the longevity of realism tattooing? Anyone want to tackle this?
I guess if you have your contrast there, it should hold up over time, and you do it large enough.
Yeah, I also said it depends on how you pack it. If you put it in solid, it'll be there 10 years from now, 20 years from now.
I have my own thoughts on it as well, and it actually combines both of what you guys just said. Contrast is key. You know, if you have enough dark contrast in there to hold your shapes, to hold your edges, you know, to hold those forms, to really create a dynamic effect and a dynamic look, you'll be just fine. You know, if you're looking at color portraits or color realism, you need to make sure that you have a thoroughly saturated area. You know, you want that skin to be so densely saturated with color that you know it's not going anywhere. Do I think that some of the subtleties in realism are going to hold up, you know, in the long run? Some of those very, very super fine, little tiny nuances or accents, maybe. But if you look at it from, you know, from a little bit of a distance, you know, you're not going to see those anyway. So then do those subtleties really matter? You know, so I think, yeah, I think it can last a lifetime so long as it's done correctly. You know, as Caroline touched on, I think it also depends on the size. You know, as long as it's done at an appropriate size, me personally, I don't see anything happening with any kind of skin distortion or, you know, any kind of blurring over time. But you got to make sure it's done at an appropriate size.
Yep.
And also it depends how the client looks after it on the long run.
Very true. Aftercare is always a huge key thing.
I've seen Paul Booth pieces healed in 10 years that still look crisp, clean, everything's in there. And one of my friends actually got tattooed by Paul Booth when he was here in Cape Town. And with our South African sun and everything, his tattoo's almost completely gone.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, with realism too, the multiple layers, you know, is definitely something that seems, you know, many of the realists, you know, the tattoo's not done until they say it's done, kind of, you know. And the contrast to your point, often, you know, like people like Nico, you know, he's a sick black and gray tattooer too. And, you know, it's that understanding of, you know, volume and, you know, especially for like realism. A lot of it's about like volume. Well, like you said, volume. It's contrast. You know, I do have Nico and Alex Tapace fired up here that I could show off. I don't know if there's any other realism artists that you know might be a good demonstration of you know some tattoos that'll last. But again, I know that Nico is definitely doing multiple sessions on people, but and not everyone. You know, obviously not every realism tattooer is a Nico or an Alex Tapace.
Right.
So the question wasn't like, can everybody do a tattoo that lasts? But you know, here's an example of his Nico's black and gray, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's beautiful.
You know, this is a fucking massive tattoo. Hey, talk about reinventing. Here's a video of this.
Wait until they zoom in on this. Really take a look at that lantern and look at the amount of contrast that's in it. Look at the shapes that are there and look at where he's putting his focus.
And how dense that black is.
Yep. There's no doubt in my mind whatsoever that that tattoo is going to look flawless 10, 15 years down the line.
Hell
You
yeah.
know, so Jerry in the chat room is talking. Well, I'll just read this out. Color should be contained by carbon, in my opinion, but everything gets migrates. So legibility is key. My issue is the pigments and how different colors age differently.
Very true.
Definitely, knowing what colors you're using and how they age. Some of the oranges, like everything over time. I don't necessarily. I mean, again, with a proper contrast, even as color leaves, and this is where like if the black and gray kind of underpinning of the volume is done, even if you do, you will lose some of the colors, but the realism will stay. And the other thing is, in time and experience, in which colors are going to age and how they age. Guys definitely into the experienced artists over time that can see their work 10 years later, 15 years later, um, are probably the ones to really talk about ink safe, right? Because anyways, okay, so then I yield the floor.
Yeah, I think experience has a lot to do with it. But, once again, I think if your fundamental contrast is there and your fundamental principles of art are there, much like, we're talking about with Nico and all of his like black and gray undertones, absolutely. I don't foresee any issues with that, many years down the line. And you get other guys too that are doing some of the same stuff. If it's done right, yeah, it'll hold.
Oh shit!
If
Here's
it's
we
not,
got Boris
then
here. This is Boris from Hungary. He was commenting on Nico's shit. But he's obviously another realist whose work
yep.
fucking stays. Look at this. No, it's crazy. I remember seeing his work, Boris. His work. He taught at one of the worldwide tattoo conferences, so we got to look at his work like huge. And now this shit is and that's crazy. But again, it's so contrast. Like this parts. It's oh my lord! Look at all that. That is crazy.
Yeah, but you can see the real definitive light areas. You can see the real definitive dark areas. You can see all of that kind of minute detail in there, but it has enough contrast where it needs to be in order to hold over time.
Well, and it's worth noting that Boris, as far as technical application, has been doing this shit for. I think he's got to be close to 30 years. If he's not on 30 years, he's
Yeah, that doesn't
definitely
surprise
mid
me one
20s,
bit.
and he's been seeing the effect of his work on skin healed, for long periods of time.
But I also have to agree with what Lestat said. I think a lot of it also depends on how well do you take care of it after it's done.
Correct.
I've seen people that have gotten some of the most incredible color tattoos you will ever see in your life. But these people are going tanning a lot. They're out in the sun without any kind of sunscreen on. And then you got guys like me. I'm that guy you'll see at the beach wearing like long leg Under Armour pants and a long sleeve Under Armour shirt just to keep the sun off of my investment in my tattoos. I don't want anything to ever happen to them. Granted, I don't usually go to the beach and I try to avoid the sun at all costs, but that's also because, I'm like one shade darker than, transparent. So I've got very, very fair skin and tend to burn very easily. So yeah, I avoid the sun just to begin with. But if I do go to the beach, like anytime I visit my parents in Florida, you'll see me out at the beach, but I'm wearing long sleeves. I'm wearing long pants. I'm not letting that sun touch me because I want to protect my investment.
Do you use the UV protective shirts and stuff like that? Yeah,
Yes,
I
I
have
do.
a ton too. I was on a cruise in 2019. I went with my friend's family, and at dinner one of the nights, like later into the cruise, one of the other guys, one of the family friends was like, "Oh, how are you not getting tan?" I'm like, sunblock, sun hat, UV shirts. Like I was like, I'm not put myself out there because I'm very, very pale. I burst into flames in the sun. So, and I'm tattooed. So I'm definitely trying to keep myself as covered as possible.
Yeah, I think so. Nate also added on to that. Thank you. I've always done realism, but question if I shouldn't adapt to a more illustrative format to ensure it stands up to time. Nate, that's all up to you and whether or not you decide to take your work in that direction. You know, and I have to quote Devin, who I interviewed yesterday. You know, he said it when you're presented with all of these options when you're a tattooer, part of it is figuring out what do you do? Where do you go? And how are you going to figure out what you do, your style? You know, you can have someone that's going to be extremely diverse, but maybe they won't ever reach that real true pinnacle level of one specific style if they continually diversify into a lot of different areas. You know, it's good to be well-rounded and to be able to execute any tattoo out there with a certain degree of expertise. But if you take the time and you focus down and you drill down, focus on your strengths and try to stay away from what you know you need to improve, then you're only going to get better as an artist. You know, switching formats to go with more of an illustrative format would require looking at things in a little bit of a different light and having a little bit of a different mindset because you're now starting to incorporate different elements into what you're doing as a tattoo. You know, you look at a lot of really great illustrative tattooers. They're incorporating lots and lots of, you know, solid black contrast areas, lots and lots of different varied line weights, tons of areas of very buttery smooth, no black color blends and fades, you know, and then contrasting that with having a very high contrast focal point area, you know, but this is stuff that they're creating. You know, they're not necessarily working off of a photograph. They have to go through and draw a lot of this stuff up by hand from memory or using some references, but then changing the references, you know, to go through and adapt to a more illustrative style. So depending on which way you want to take it, both forms hold up really well over time, you know. So what direction do you want to continue to move things in?
Cool. Nate from the chat room says, I love Dmitry Samohin's work, so I'm going to
Yes.
fire him up here. Someday everyone's going to be in the Reinventing community. For now, we'll still go to some Instagrams here. But yeah, check out Dimitri's work. He's... Oh, wait, is this the... Is this him? Wait, let me make sure this is the right one. The spelling's off a little, but some of it seems okay. This is...
Yeah, I believe that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Look at this painting.
Look at that, man.
Talking about detail and where to put it and moving the eye around.
It's 90
Samoa's
by
painting
132.
is...
That's insane. Look at his use of focus there, too. The very tightly rendered areas right next to the areas that are a little bit more obscured,
Blurred.
a little bit more blurry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at the tight rendering he's got on that face. Absolutely incredible.
Let's see.
Beautiful work. Absolutely stunning.
What the fuck?
Whatever happened, I didn't do it.
Oh, that's amazing. Turyansky, he's another one. He's fucking out of control.
Fuck.
That's the kind of stuff that makes me want to step back and just say I quit.
Oh, yeah. Do you know? Are you? Do you have followed Oleg Triansky here?
No, but I
He's
will.
yeah.
No.
Look at this. Let's wait until let's see here. He's absolutely one of my very favorites. Oh my lordy. Let me. Is this his work? That could be. It's all in Russian. It's hard to tell. This is him here. Let me find. Some back pieces. Like he just draws. He doesn't.
Love that. Definitely more illustrative, but it still has all of the basic elements of like a Japanese style.
Yeah, he's definitely like he could do realism, but this is all. Well, it would be like fantasy realism, but or here's a more realistic piece.
Whoa.
But again, there's so much artistic interpretation. Yeah. He some of his paintings. We're gonna get down to one of his paintings. That's this or both of them. He's gonna have both of his prints here. These we got to watch him make that at the shop, but this one here, I was looking at this. He was at a Hell City with us, and I looked at this painting for like 3 days straight, and it was just like new awesome stuff and everywhere. But again, like the contrast it's there. So he's like putting like inside of these dark spaces are things that will come out at you. It's out of control. Here's another. Oh, well, here's like some realism with an illustratory. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, just a little bit longer here. I want to find. There's some other large pieces. Like, so here's an example though, like the black and gray is just as compelling.
Love the mix in styles there too.
Wow. Yeah, those finger waves are. Yeah.
Well, and if you look carefully,
On
he's
point.
incorporating certain illustrative aspects into just doing his finger waves. See some of them that have that very nice crisp black line to them. And then you see other ones that don't have any line that are basically just framed out by the shading that have a lot less contrast in them. And that really gives them that effect of fading off into the background and blending in with the background. I love it when people do that.
Wow.
Definitely incredible.
The Russians have some good things.
Guys, I'm going to say thank you.
You're very
and good
welcome.
night.
You
Cheers.
too. You do the same.
Go work
Hopefully
in the
you'll
morning.
get to, hopefully you get to join us next Sunday. You're always welcome to tune in and jump in. Would love to have you back on again, man.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Awesome.
let us.
Thanks so
why
much.
don't you let everybody know how to contact you or how to find you online?
Online, Instagram, it's Big Tasty Tats. That's the main platform that I mainly use. Don't have websites, anything like that. Yeah.
And you're where in South Africa?
I'm in Johannesburg, South Africa at Rising Dragon Tattoos. We boast of being one of the greatest shops in Johannesburg. So I'm lucky and blessed to be a part of that shop. And yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, we'll catch up in the future. Thanks again for zooming in.
Yeah, thank you very
Awesome.
much.
Thanks so much. I'll see you guys soon.
All right, sounds great.
So Damon Tesh is from California. He was in the chat rooms. He says he's got an early warning app for earthquakes in California that actually works.
Really?
And the first time he was in an earthquake, he thought it was the devil. He was
Yeah.
in bed, and the bed started jumping up and down. Yeah, I was. I think in that 2011 earthquake, I was I was in the basement. I had a basement office, and the basement was like all of a sudden coming up at me, and it was like the whole thing was like shaking around. It was crazy. And but I remember that fell through like most of the East Coast. It was so big. Hold on one second. I got to close the door of my office here. Okay. Cool. Well, we should probably give it maybe one round of chatting about where people could find you, and then we could carry on. We have
Sounds
to
good.
we have to
Sounds
prepare
good.
for tonight's Nick Baxter painting.
Absolutely. Caroline, how can people get a hold of you?
Good question. My shop website is myradiantenergy.net. I'm on Instagram. I think it's Caroline Ann Evans or Tattoos by Caroline. And then I have my own website too, tattoosbycaroline.com.
Awesome. Awesome. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jason Leeser. I work at a studio called the Inkwell Tattoo. It's about 30 minutes north of Philadelphia. You guys can get a hold of me at Philly Inc. on Instagram. And by all means, if there's ever a topic you guys would like us to discuss, if you ever have any questions or comments, anything of that nature, by all means, please feel free to drop us a message. Join us in the Reinventing the Tattoo app, where all of this stuff is live streamed. You will get notifications to everything. And it's a good way to connect with other artists too. It's a very awesome up and coming community. We've been able to connect with a whole bunch of different people from all over the globe. It's turning out to just be really, really beneficial. And I was a little bit hesitant at first, but it's turning out to be one of the greatest things that I've ever been a part of. But as I was saying, if you ever have anything you want to have discussed or questions, any topics for upcoming drawing sessions on Sundays, let us know. We'll be more than happy to address it or discuss it or answer any questions that you may have. Gabe? Gabe, are you still with us?
I was wondering the same thing.
Well, I'm sure Gabe will be back in just a minute, just to kind of tie things up. This show does go on every Sunday at 1 o'clock, almost religiously, mostly because I don't really have anything better to do with my life.
Can you hear me? You could hear me.
We can
Okay.
hear you now.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, it works much better with batteries. So thank you very much for watching. Thanks for joining. I'm going to share my screen actually and talk a little bit about the Nick Baxter painting workshop that's coming up tonight. But even if you're watching this a year from now, you could still watch the replay, and all of Nick Baxter's stuff is worth it. So we're beaming at you, no matter where you're picking it up, but we're beaming it from community.reinventingthetattoo.com. And you can also download the app from the App Store. And I want to show you Nick Baxter because he is awesome. This is the Still Life with Nick Baxter at 9 p.m. That is tonight if you're watching live, or on the 31st before 9 o'clock Eastern. But again, you could always find the replay. And this is the materials list. Nick has a landscape painting workshop that he's got here. It's 3 hours and 41 minutes. It's really awesome. And yeah, guys, helping guide.
Far background.
It'll let us know. Nick is just so generous with his time, and all 3 hours is great. And
Yeah, you know what?
after
We're
a
trying to do
couple of
stuff like this many times a week
at some point,
if we can. Like today,
people are encouraged to
there
zoom
was
in
a
and paint
drawing
along.
group earlier in
So
the day.
the landscape painting one went great. You definitely should check out the still life, and or like I said, check out the replay. And let's check out some of Nick's still life paintings. just to kind of demo what, if you're not familiar with Nick's work, this is at nbaxter.com. But look at this. You know, Nick's always been an amazing talent. Right out of the gate, 6 months into tattooing, we knew that he was going for it. But it's a pleasure to see him actually always just continuously improve, and a lot of this comes from helping teach. So he's been teaching for probably like 10 years, maybe more. Look at that. Nate says in the chat room, Nick is awesome. Excited to see his work tonight. Yes, it's gonna be fun. And then his other work, it can get pretty crazy too. But look at this. So he takes all of these different elements and puts them into his original creations. He does the landscapes. I guess I kind of went out of order. I started showing you his original stuff when I could have gone from the still life to the landscapes to the original stuff. But yeah, it's very exciting, and he's very generous, being very generous with his time. So it's definitely worth tuning in or watching the replay. And yeah, thanks again, everyone. We will catch up with you in the future.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Gabe. Have a great
Okay.
night, everyone.
Cheers.
Good night.